From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Sunday sent his well wishes to former United States President Donald Trump, who was hurt during an apparent assassination attempt at a Pennsylvania rally. In an ex-post, the Philippine President sent his thoughts and prayers to former President Trump and his family, breathing a sigh of relief after receiving the news that the former president is fine and well after the attempt to assassinate him. The chief executive said the Philippines condemns all forms of political violence. Trump's right ear was grazed with a bullet while the gunman was killed, reportedly by a Secret Service sniper. One spectator was likewise killed and 2 others were injured. Trump, who is eyeing a return to the White House, was taken off stage by Secret Service agents. His camp told the media the former president will be fine.
Dateline Malacañang.
A week before the House of Representatives goes into session and the State of the Nation Address, or SONA, of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., House Speaker Martin Romualdez outlined the agenda of the Congress. Speaker Romualdez said, "The priority of the House is the ratification of the 2025 national budget, as well as the remaining Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council, or LEDAC, priority bills and possible amendments to SONA measures." The House Speaker said it is awaiting the 6.532 trillion peso 2025 National Expenditure Program that will be the basis of the creation of the General Appropriations Bill, or GAB. This is expected to be submitted by the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, on July 29th. Romualdez said they are ready and determined to work hard to pass the 2025 GAB before the House goes on break at the end of September, adding that they will also ensure the timely transmission of the spending bill to the Senate for their consideration. The House leader promised to focus on the remaining LEDAC priority bills, particularly the amendments to the Electric Power Industry Reform Act, or EPIRA, Agrarian Reform Law, and Foreign Investors Long-Term Lease Act. House Speaker Romualdez also said they are ready to work on the additional measures the President might mention during his SONA on July 22nd. Since the 19th Congress opened in July of 2022, the House has served 12,405 measures, of which 10,565 were bills, 1,839 resolutions, and 1 petition, where 75 of these are already made into law.
Dateline Malacañang.
Militant groups that would burn their effigy during the State of the Nation Address, or SONA, of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will face the law. This is the warning of the Philippine National Police or PNP following the statement of the Quezon City Police District or QCPD that they will implement Batas Pambansa or Philippine Law 880 that covers this provision. PNP Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Jean Fajardo insisted that the burning of effigies or anything in the streets is clearly prohibited under the law. That's why they requested protesters to not do this. Earlier, the PNP stated that their preparations for President Marcos's third SONA are in the final stages, and they are just waiting for the permit from the local government of Quezon City to know which group will be allowed to conduct their activities. Following this, the PNP again ensured that they did not monitor any serious threats while the country's police ignored certain personalities instigating that there will be a public disorder on the day of the SONA itself.
Dateline Malacañang.
In a related story, the Philippines Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA is deploying more than 1,300 personnel in anticipation of the heavy traffic on roads leading to the Batasang Pambansa complex for the third State of the Nation Address or SONA of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on July 22nd. At the Saturday News Forum, Emmanuel Miro of the MMDA Special Event Operations said, "The government is in the final stages of its SONA preparations and is scheduled to hold a final interagency meeting on Monday." As in the past SONAs, Miro told the public to expect heavy traffic along Commonwealth Avenue and in the vicinity of the Batasan, especially at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon when dignitaries start arriving. He said the MMDA would deploy 1,329 personnel, including traffic and parking management officers, road emergency responders, clearing and cleaning groups, and technical teams who will monitor the highways leading to the Batasan. The MMDA, meanwhile, has not identified any road that will be closed on July 22nd.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine National Security Advisor Secretary Eduardo Año promised that the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-LCAC, will demolish the New People's Army, or NPA, during the term of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Año, the current co-vice chair of the NTF-LCAC, reported that from 2018, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, has dismantled politico-military components of 89 guerrilla fronts. Secretary Año also expects that this year or the following year, the remaining 7 factions of the NPA will be demolished. According to the Secretary, this is because of the implementation of the whole-of-nation approach that resulted in the surrender of 44,528 members, supporters, and sympathizers of the NPA. To date, Año said, there are only 1,251 NPA forces left in the whole country.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, Philippine Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian and Special Assistant to the President or SAP Secretary Anton Lagdameo went to Matanog, Maguindanao del Norte province to personally monitor the distribution of assistance to families affected by the flooding due to the southwest monsoon. Besides relief packs, they also distributed cash aid under the Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation or AICS. This is in accordance to the directives of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to assist those affected by the flooding, including the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARM. Aside from distributing assistance, the DSWD chief also attended the briefing of Tactical Operations Group Region 12, where a comprehensive report was given on the damages brought by the southwest monsoon as well as ongoing assistance efforts. Currently, the DSWD is continuing its coordination with the provincial local government for the immediate delivery of assistance to affected families that were devastated by the flooding in the region.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, the Philippines Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, reported that 54,000 families, or over 265,000 individuals, were affected by heavy rains caused by the southwest monsoon in Mindanao. Currently, most of the affected individuals are from Regions 9 and 12 and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARM. According to data from the DSWD's Disaster Response Operations Monitoring and Information Center, as of July 14th, there are 5,027 families, equivalent to 20,359 individuals are temporarily staying at 56 evacuation centers, while more than 6,000 families are staying with their relatives. In relation to this, the DSWD recorded to have distributed an initial 4.6 million pesos worth of assistance to those affected by the heavy rains. The agency currently still has 2.7 billion pesos worth of relief resources in their stockpile consisting of food and non-food items as well as standby funds.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippine government has launched its nationwide rice price monitoring to assess the impact of the rice tariff reduction across the entire supply chain from importers to retailers. According to a news release over the weekend, the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, in cooperation with the Department of Agriculture, or DA, launched the Extensive Price Monitoring Initiative, which covers a wide range of retail markets, including supermarkets, hypermarkets, and grocery stores under the DTI's jurisdiction, as well as wet markets under the DA's purview. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s Executive Order, or EO number 62, issued in June, reduced the tariff on rice from 35% to 15% and tariffs on other agricultural products. Trade Secretary Alfredo Pascual, who also chairs the National Price Coordinating Council, or NPCC, said his department would remain steadfast in the rigorous monitoring and analysis of rice price fluctuations. Composed of the secretaries of the Departments of Trade and Agriculture, as well as representatives of the consumer, agricultural, trading, and manufacturing sectors, the NPCC plays a crucial role in coordinating national efforts to stabilize and control the prices of essential goods and prime commodities. Pascual, meanwhile, commended members of Congress for ensuring price stability and protecting consumer interests by combating hoarding, profiteering, and smuggling.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines is poised to rank third in internet connectivity in Southeast Asia with the government's continued investment in improving connectivity. According to Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT Secretary Ivan John Uy, the country is sixth in internet penetration among Southeast Asian countries, a notable jump from its previous ninth spot. During the Build Better More Infrastructure Forum at the New Clark City, Uy said that if the country continue in this trajectory, he hopes that by 2028, the Philippines would probably be the top 3 in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Uy noted the importance of continued investment in improving the country's internet connectivity to remain competitive and at par with its neighbors. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. recently approved the $288 million Philippine Digital Infrastructure Project, or PDIP, which according to Uy seeks to complete the national fiber backbone of the country and bring high-speed internet connection even in disadvantaged areas. To be financed through the Official Development Assistance, or ODA, from the World Bank, the project is a flagship initiative of the DICT and involves the construction of a public broadband infrastructure network. Uy also reported that there are 13,462 free Wi-Fi sites in 1,401 cities and municipalities across the country, including 3,040 geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, or GIDAs. A total of 9.8 million Filipinos have benefited from the DICT's free public internet program, he said, adding that the DICT is looking to reach 125,000 free Wi-Fi sites nationwide by 2028.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the Philippines Bureau of Treasury, or BTR, said the government has paid 1.216 trillion pesos of its foreign and domestic debt from January to May of the current year. This is higher than the 48.38% than the debt service of the first 5 months of 2023 of 819 billion pesos. The amortization repayment of loan is at 73.57%, or an equivalent of 895.126 billion pesos, while 26.43%, or 321.5 billion pesos, were paid on interest. Currently, the Philippines' outstanding debt stands at 15.35 trillion pesos. To recall, the Department of Finance, or DOF, increased the government's borrowing plan to 4.47%, or 2.56 trillion pesos, compared to the 2.46 trillion pesos which was set by the Development Budget Coordination Committee.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radio Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.820 MHz, and 12.010 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radio Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radio Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.